Much like what the Tekken series producer Katsushiro Harada has claimed that younger players are more interested in team-based one-on-one fighting games, team-based than one-on-one fighting games, because it gives them less responsibility if they lose.
Yeah, I've been saying that for the past 10 years.
Bro,
it's 100% true, and that's why fighting games will never be bigger than any other esports game.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's the most realist quote ever on the generation below.
It's pretty cool and self. I mean, as a fighting game developer, I guess you have to know that, but it's nice to be self-aware that you're making a game from the bottom and it's going to be an uphill battle regardless. Like,
I mean, if we're talking about people not accepting responsibilities for losses, it's definitely fighting games, especially the rage quit epidemic and plugging in Tekken and Street Fighter.
You're still taking responsibility because you're quitting and that's it for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you quit and you lose. Like, that's basically a loss. That's still like a mental loss for you.
Whoa.
Like, it is because you might not think it to the person. Yeah, but to the person, it might not be. But them rage quitting in itself is a loss. Like, they might not think it is, but if you're playing a team game, some people will not view it as fuck. I gotta rage quit. Like, they'll just say, I'll just blame somebody else, and they'll just keep doing that and deflect all the blame and be like, it's not my fault. In a fighting game, you rage quitting, it doesn't, like, to me personally, like, if you're rage quitting, you're saying fuck it. Like, I can't fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not saying, oh, it's their fault or some shit, unless, you know, some people obviously do that. We've seen that. But
I definitely do that in college.
I don't know. It's more personal when somebody feels like they need to quit. That feels like a, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
The thing is, on a one-on-one fighting game, there's literally no one else you can blame. Like, it's just you and that's it.
You're salty. Period.
Yeah,
like,
you're salty.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like,
but you know, I think there is credence to what he's saying, because a lot of people do not. They want to option select, right?
I play competitive Overwatch, like I've said over and over again, for 4 years straight, and that's all I dealt with. So I mean, that's the truth. And I've always said this, like, even right now, I'm playing Final Fantasy 14, right? You rated, it's a team thing. It's 8 people, right? People do not know how to take accountability. That's like the biggest problem with people in this game and any type of competitive game. People don't know how to take accountability, bro. People don't know how to be like, oh yeah, it's my fault. Like, try to make people do that. Yeah, good luck. And then they want to argue with you. Yeah, damn, he's 100% right on that. Some people can never be wrong or bad or whatever. It's never them.
Yeah, you know, so I'll just say the whole quote, because that way he's not being taken out of context. He says, it seems to me that the way fighting games are played has evolved over time. In Japan and most of the world, my generation is a big one. It makes a good chunk of the population that made our society a competitive one. If you applied to a school for a job, there was always competition. Because of this, people in my generation prefer definitive outcomes, a clear winner and loser. This applies to people around my age in the 50s. But most young people nowadays are the opposite. They're rarely eager to engage in one-on-one showdowns. Plus, because fighting games pit you by yourself by a single opponent, you have to accept all the responsibility if you lose. You can't blame anyone else. In team-based shooters, when players win, they can say they won because of their own contributions, but when they lose, it's because they got matched with a lousy team. Some games even give out individual awards to each and every player.
Yeah, you get a participation award. Yeah. I don't agree with the first part of that statement though, because people never have been accountable for anything. Like, yes, there are some, of course, there are some, right? But we're forgetting sports exist. We're forgetting there's a lot of things that existed that required people to work together, and some people just would never take accountability for anything. That's how shit is. Like, how do you think politicians be getting by? Like, hello? This doesn't just exist in video games.
I mean, to be fair, in his just playing devil's advocate, he does grow up in Japan, and I don't know how they are in comparison to us culture-wise.
I don't know. Human beings are human beings. Well, and there are going to be lazy human beings. There are going to be human beings that can't accept things. That's just how it is.
I think if we're talking about, like, because we're talking about, like, single player games, but, like, also talking about, like, fighting games, right? And if you talk about, like, the arcade
in the gaming space, that's true.
Yeah.
Because there was that we didn't have that option to play games with teammates online and shit. And you best believe if we had like a couch co-op, if motherfucker, you telling me when people was playing like 2v2 at Mario Party back in the day, you wasn't blaming the motherfucker sitting next to you for losing? Get the hell out of here, bro. Like, you know motherfuckers was doing that because I was.
But
yeah, I mean,
when
I was like hearing the stakes.
I'd be like, how you lose that shit? What the fuck, man? You suck. Meanwhile, I'm over here I'm fucking up too. Like, come on, bro. That's just how things are. Yeah, that's just how. Come on, man. Like, let's be realistic. Come on.
Yeah. And then to continue, just to finish this, he says, I'm not saying we should turn a fighting game to a puzzle game or a real-time strategy game. I still think there's demand for games like this sort of hand-to-hand fighting, but maybe we can include other ways in competing outside of the main game. For example, they don't always have to fight one-on-one. They can opt for team battles such as 3-on-3. I think maybe we want to look into this.
Hello?
Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah.
That should have... You know what, man? I love Harada. Y'all know I'm probably the biggest Tekken show amongst us in here. But I find it ironic that of all the people to say that, it's Tekken, the Tekken producer, who has removed Team Battle from the game. When we had Team Battle in Tekken before, and it was dope. Why don't we have that?
Yeah, it was dope.
Like, why don't we have that in any fighting game anymore? What is going on? Yo, you want to hear something funny? Y'all remember Street Fighter 4? Super Street Fighter 4 had the dopest team battle shit. Because I remember I used to be me and 3 of my other boys, and we would be challenging motherfuckers, and it had like the game mode where you could just do team battle, and it was just, that shit was dope. Why don't we have that anymore? How did we have that in the beginning of like 2 generations ago, and now we don't have things like that? So that's kind of ironic, but whatever. That's beside the point.
Yeah,
I think that's funny.
Well, but, it's funny because Capcom, I mean, it is on Street Fighter 6, just people don't use it.
Team battles on Street Fighter 6?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
in the traditional way online? I don't know. I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's there. I've always wanted to do it, but
I don't know.
Never got to do it.
I think there's a couple of things to touch on, especially like with Harada's quote, and just in general, like, because if we're talking about like fighting game culture, like we've been in this like new era of fighting games where things are more online, where before it used to be in person on an arcade. And if you rage quit, you went home and you weren't playing the game no more. Where if you rage quit a match, you just hop into another match. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just different, right? Like, so I think like that definitely plays into it, because it's like a culture thing, and it's like a mentality, right? Like old heads versus new heads kind of thing, right? But also, like, I don't know why they just don't have more team tournaments or incorporate team tournaments in the FGC in general, right? Like, remember when Evo had the Tekken Tag 2v2 when that game first dropped?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was, and it was horrible. I don't know. It was horrible.
It was definitely cool. It was cool as hell.
But it was cool. Yeah, it was a cool concept. Poor execution, right? Game was also like very boring at that point to watch. It got better over time, but like, why aren't like FGC is traditionally, it's always been like a single thing. Why aren't there more, like, in addition to like a singles bracket, like a doubles bracket? You know what I mean? Like, why can't they both exist in the same
Because if that
space?
existed in the inception of it, it would be more acceptable now. Some people just, I don't know. Like, fighting game players, from what I've noticed, are not very good at working with other people anyway. So I don't know. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like an
people that
flaw.
option, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the option should always be there, but we had the option in Mortal Kombat 9, and nobody used it. It was hella fun though. I tell you that much, but nobody played it. I remember doing it online with one of my boys. We was just mauling people, but they just started taking stuff out of games because clearly they took it out because they had some type of data that nobody was playing it. So I don't know. And the weird thing about fighting games is that's like tennis, right? You can do doubles in tennis, right? But most people care about singles. Most people care about 1v1, right? Most people, I'm sure it's fun to watch doubles, but where's the real competition at? Not there, right? And where do people go? What's more entertaining to watch? Where there's more competition, right? So I don't know.
Yeah, but I still think like it's still a participation aspect of it, right? Like, it gives your event more depth. You give people that option, right? Like,
does it have depth
they're gonna
if no one's doing
singles. I think people definitely sign up for it. Like, they just did a 2v2 for multiverses, right? And that I will say that probably got as much attention as it did because it had
multiverse is not the same. That's like saying that's because Smash doubles is probably the biggest thing. One of the biggest, obviously one of the bigger things, and that's just like a I guess, I don't know. They're very similar in nature, so I feel like that kind of game lends itself to that. A lot of fighting games do not lend themselves to that. Like platform fighters like Smash and shit like that. Those, let's be real. When we were kids, when I was a kid, that was the most fun. Smash for me was 2v2 or free for all the other shit. Now not so much, but even doubles is dope. But those games are built around stuff like that. That's different. Those games are built around things like that. Yeah, if you can get a fighting game that's built around that, sure. Like, that would be cool. I'm sure it would take off. It'd be dope, but we don't get that. Like, and if we do get it, it's like half-assed, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It'll be interesting of how it was that Project L thing works out. See, I mean, that will probably have the best chance to do something like that, but we'll see on the execution on how that really goes. I think it'd be cool, but I don't know. I think people are just too proud to. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
You get a lot of team meltdowns and people shitting on their teammates.
Yeah, you ever see Smash doubles? Hello?
I guarantee.
That's all Smash doubles is.
I guarantee you, though, like if the prize pool is big enough, people will learn to work together.
Yeah,
for sure.
they have to make it a thing. Like,
yeah, you kind of have to
complain that it's not a thing if you don't make it a thing.
Look, people are gonna be like, all right, like if you put like $100,000 or whatever, something like that. Let's just say.
That's why I respect Capcom. Like, that's why I respect Capcom. Yeah, we didn't take to the Street Fighter X Tekken shit when it came out, but I was glad that they made that a priority. Like, they tried to force that onto you. Like, this is how they want us to play this game, 2v2. That was cool to me. It didn't work, but that's how you make things. That's how you push things. You just. That's it. You make that your main focus.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's what this made me think about when I was reading this. I was like, well, there's always a potential for like, you know, team base.
Well,
devs talk too much instead of doing.
Yeah, you know, it actually bugs me. You know how the Street Fighter League bullshit? Why didn't they just use fucking team battles for the whole shit? Why are they just doing one-on-one battles when the whole thing is their team anyways?
Yeah, who knows, man.
And the game is built.
Laziness.
It's built into the game. Like, that shit makes no sense to me. That's why when I watch that Street Fighter, that's why, yeah, of course. But like, that's why when you watch the Street Fighter League stuff, when it's just like a group of people and they're one team, it's like, why don't you just do it that way? And then whatever team gets.
Yeah, that shit's dope.
Yeah,
I think that shit's cool.
Like one of the funnest shit for Street Fighter 6 was that Twitch Rivals event. Really?
Yeah.
Because they were all kind of like in teams. And
I think team tournaments are always more hyped for me to watch.
Me
because
too.
I can get behind a team of people that I like.
Yeah.
Like,
you know.
It's like when they do team exhibitions too. Right?
And it also introduces you to other people that you never even like. I've watched team tournaments from like. That's how I know like all the Korean fucking Tekken players, because they had. That's all they really had at one point. Was like fucking team tournaments. Japan did that shit a lot. Was like team tournaments.
Oh, my favorite shit is the Third Strike shit, the character tournaments.
Yeah, they used to have crazy shit.
Was it Cooperation Cup?
I used to love that shit, man.
Bro, I used to root for Team Dudley. Let's go.
I don't know. That's the kind of thing you gotta force that into existence.
You gotta force that hand, right, man? I hope the universe just gives me a bunch of
like Overwatch came out, right? And Overwatch was like, here, we have this game that requires synergy. We have these ultimates that you can pair up together. We want this game to be a teamwork type of, you know, game, not team deathmatch, like, you know, not everyone for themselves just shooting around and you know, fucking jumping around like idiots and shit. Let's make a game where people have to focus and figure out what each other is doing. Obviously, to varying degrees, right? Because like I said, you have people that don't know how to hold themselves accountable and don't know how to work as a team and all the bullshit. But they still made the game and designed the game around that. And that's why the game, to me personally, was probably the best competitive video game of all time. Like, they were like, okay, we have tank DPS supports, tank DPS healers, right? And you all have a job to do, and you all do it. If you don't do your job, you lose. Period. Like, of course you can blame somebody else. Of course you can get carried, whatever the fuck. But at the end of the day, everyone still has to kind of do their job. And I feel like in a fighting game, what if you make if you make like a fighting game, like a team fighting game? How would you do that? Like, yeah, you could do 2v2 like the Project L stuff, right? But the furthest I can see that going is, oh, you do a combo, I tag you when you finish the combo or something like that. Like, how deep does that go? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, how does that even work?
I mean, I don't know.
I like the idea of, like, so you think of like a game like Marvel, right, where it's just like different people control different characters. But then there's also the games that lend themselves to like where it's a 1v1, but it's a team based, right? Like 3v3, right? Like,
that's still 1v1.
It's still 1v1, but it's still like it depends on the performance of the team, right? Like it's. There's some things I like about that, and then some things I don't, because then you always have that one talented player that's just gonna wash the whole team by himself.
That's what I'm saying.
You know
That's still technically not. Still 1v1 because you could have that one person that just eliminates the entire other team.
So like there are the ones that have that forced rule set where it's like, well, like let everyone plays and whichever team has the best record moves on. You know what I mean?
Just
like
run around robin and call it a day.
That too, yeah. Like there's so many ways to do it depending on the game, right? Like if the game has it built in, of course that makes it like a much easier. But yeah, like it's, I don't know, team game, like multiple.
So basically, how do we give participation awards to everyone? Oh Lord.
Look, to me, it's not even about it having to be a main thing. I just like to see some of it, and just, I don't know, I like to see some fun. Like it's fun to see different teams and stuff like that compete.
I like that he brought that up though. So because a lot of these devs are just focused on doing the same things that they know works.
Yeah.
So it's cool of him to bring that up though.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, fighting games is just super hard to grow. So they probably spend many nights just thinking about it, changing their mind, what have you. I don't know. Maybe he's still wrestling with the idea of it. Or maybe Tekken Tag 3 is coming out in like, I don't know, 6 years.
that is something I also took for is like, hey, we're just gonna have Tekken Tag as the next Tekken game. This is just the way of saying it.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Hope not, but whatever.
Yeah. Like a lot of people didn't like the most recent Tekken Tag, right?
No, people liked it. It's just
I thought people liked it.
I don't want. That's not what I want. Pretty sure most people don't want. I mean, of course you're gonna have people that want a Tekken Tag game, but I don't want to have to play against fucking 80 characters. I'm straight. I don't need to learn 80 matchups again. I'm good. That's too much work. I'm too lazy. Just give me my 1v1 games. I'm getting old, bro. By the time that game come out, I'm gonna have arthritis and shit. I'm good. Keep it simple, bro.
Well, I mean, it's time for your retirement home.
Fuck that.
Oh man. But yeah, it's a fun thing. I mean, it's a good thing for Harada to bring up because it's, you know, you say he's like a leader in the fighting game development space, right? Like, you could definitely push things forward with certain things, right? Like if he decides that he's gonna do that, or maybe push.
Bro, he was having dinner with Sakurai and fucking Yoshi P, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, what were they? That's a godlike picture of them three. That's like a power meeting. What was that? That was crazy.
I mean, like, it's absolutely Smash related or something because
I don't know.
It's because Harada
specifically works for Bandai, so it's not uncommon for him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's just
not
interesting. No, I'm not even thinking about what game they're talking about. I'm just more interested in the fact that it's three of them in a room together. Like that's like a power move. That's like a power meeting. Like damn, these three big heads like
on the wall. Bro.
Yeah, that's dope. Like,
but
whatever comes out of it, cool. But that's dope.
The reason Sakurai even got all those characters is because he would just have dinner with all these people. So he's probably really good friends with all of them, to be honest.
It was just like they're gonna put Clive in Tekken, like that's it. Like, and then they're gonna they're gonna put him in the next Smash too. Like
Clive.
Because I don't know, Yoshi P's been in everybody's ear lately. I don't know what's going on, but he's been like pictures with everybody. Like, what is he doing?
Clive,
bro, you know who's been taking pictures for everybody? Fucking Sam Lake, bro. I just saw a picture of him and Kojima sipping coffee.
You know, they're both taking the same drugs. So you know, they both be sharing drugs because their minds are crazy.
Yeah.
Them stories they be telling as well. So give me whatever they got. Open up my mind.
Each other.
Shit. Yeah. They both got like third eyes.
Correct.
That or was Kojima?
Oh no.
That or Kojima freaking cloned him for the next game that he's gonna do.
They both got like that third eye open right in the next game.
Yeah, right.
Oh, they weren't really drinking coffee.
Damn.
It's not coffee. Damn.
Not coffee. That was definitely sake. It was boozing it up.